Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank y'all for joining me evening. Y'all just give me one moment. I done got tangled up in the cord. I hope y'all enjoyed our show on Locked and Loaded. If you haven't seen the video, it is loaded now on Facebook, YouTube, and all of your other streaming platforms. So if you haven't watched our most recent episode of Locked and Loaded, go over to the page and look at that after this. We finna get into some of these questions that came across the desk of Dasia. Y'all just give me one moment. I got a little tangled up. I quit for a little smoke break and got chased down by a cat, but that's neither here nor there. Y'all give me a minute. We're gonna get into these questions that came across the desk of Dasia's. Very interesting questions. I'm not gonna be before you long. If you are watching right now, make sure you go ahead and like and share this. Go ahead and like and share this so you can get your girl in the algorithm. Just one moment, y'all. All right. All right. So y'all know how this works. So basically, how the desk of Dasia work is, I'm just giving my perspective on questions that come across my desk. And if you have a question that you would like for me to address and you would like to hear my perspective on it, make sure that you are liking the page on Facebook, which is Desk of Dasia. Also, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, which is Desk of Dasia. And the way that this works is you send in your questions, I address them. It's anonymous. Nobody will know it's you. You can send a question in for yourself. You can send it in for a friend. It doesn't matter because it's anonymous anyway. So you don't have to worry about being exposed or anything like that. If you have a question that you would like for me to address, then make sure that you send it to deskofdasia@gmail.com, or you can also message me. You can also message me on the Facebook page. So one of the questions that came across my desk that was just really interesting to me and that I wanted to elaborate on, it was actually two that came that I'm going to try to address. The first question that came across was somebody sent a question that said, what kind of secrets are you hiding? Can you leave your phone unlocked around your mate? And if he or she look into your phone, what will be the outcome? When I first came across that question, I said, you know what? It appears that sometimes people get of drama. Sometimes people get turned on off of jealousy. I feel like at this age, I don't know the age of the person who actually sent this to me, but I'm just going to speak from where I'm at in my age. At this age, I feel like the whole thing with going through people's phone is ridiculous. Everybody has a right to their privacy. Even though they're in a relationship, you still have a right to your privacy, even with you being in a relationship. I've never understood the concept of going through somebody's phone. I've actually been in a situation where I was out on a date one time. And I was out on a date with this person, and the person was describing to me how loyal they are, how honest they are, and faithful they are in relationships. And the person slid their phone across the table and was like, like if we're together, I should be able to leave my phone around you. You should be able to leave your phone around me. If I'm going to the store or something like that, I should be able to leave my phone. And it shouldn't be no issue. First of all, I'm not leaving my phone just so you can feel secure in a relationship, because anything might happen to me, bitch. I might get out there and something might happen and I need to call 911. I'm not leaving my phone around you. I could get a flat tire. Anything can happen to me. I could have some type of emergency. I'm not leaving my phone just to make you feel secure in a relationship. Second of all, we're still individuals at the end of the day, and people have all kinds of stuff going on. And I will be perfectly honest with you, at this day and age, depending on how far we are into the relationship, you might not want to even go through my phone. Because I mean, unless you like dicks, I mean, because they in there, unless you like that, yeah, you can go ahead and go through it and make yourself mad because they're in there. Now, here's the thing. We are in the age of technology and social media, and there's so many things that's going on to where somebody might send you something that you didn't ask for. You get a lot of unsolicited things when you media account, whether you have IG, whether you have Facebook, Twitter, whatever type of social media account that you have where somebody can send you some type of message, it ain't no telling what type of stuff you might get. So I feel like people need to be careful with going through phones. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone is entertaining the idea of another person, but other people will send unsolicited things in inboxes and all that kind of stuff. And before you start snooping, I really do feel like if you're so insecure in a relationship where you feel like you have to start going through somebody's phone, then that person has already shown you something to make you feel insecure. I hope that's the case. I hope that you're not just making things up and those people that love drama and you running and grabbing somebody's phone to just see what's going on and you're invading their privacy. I hope that's not the case. But 9 times out of 10, if you've gotten to a point where you feel like you need to go through someone's phone, that person has already shown you signs that made you feel insecure, to make you feel like there is something that's going on. I feel like don't even go to that level. Don't even let somebody get you to that point where you start having to sneak and go through their phone. Because to be honest with you, to go through somebody's phone is a violation because you sneaking to go through their phone 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So you're violating that person's privacy, and whatever you may find in the phone is a violation to the whatever dynamics that y'all have in y'all relationship, whatever y'all setup is. So both of y'all in violation at the end of the day to me. So I really do feel like if somebody has made you feel insecure enough to where you feel like you need to go through their phone, go ahead and reassess the relationship and make an executive decision to do away with their relationship. That's the only thing you have to do. There is no reason for you thumbing through somebody else's phone and invading their privacy or anything like that. Valerie Mall said facts. KB the guy said peace, peace. It shouldn't get to that point. And you know what? I'm starting to believe that a lot of people are actually turned on by jealousy. I've actually had situations where people didn't believe that I even cared about them because I was impressed about certain things. You know, if you leaving out the house or something and that other person is not asking where you going, where you at, or you get dressed and the man is not telling you he gonna beat your ass because you dressed a certain type of way and all of that, you feel like, oh, he don't care about what I do, he don't love me, or she don't care about what I do, she don't love me, because they don't have a jealous bone in their body. And people really do get turned on or turned off by somebody being jealous, or the lack of somebody being jealous. They'll get turned off by somebody not even being jealous and feel like they don't actually love them or care about them. And it's utterly ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I feel like people who are jealous actually have control issues, insecurities that they need to work through. And they really do need to sit down and have a conversation with their partner and let them know the things that make them feel away. And I feel that if your partner actually respects you enough, that they'll readjust. They will start doing things differently to make you feel comfortable. As long as you're not being ridiculous with what you're asking for. Some people are just ridiculous. There's cases where I've seen people get mad at the person that they're in a relationship with because somebody else wanted to talk to them, because somebody else found them attractive. Like, you'll get in a relationship with somebody who looks good. You're in a relationship with them because they look good. You like them, you love their aesthetic, and then you get mad when somebody else is interested in them. And instead of getting mad at the person who is trying to flirt with the one that you're with, you get mad at the person you're in a relationship with, like it's their fault that somebody else is attracted to them. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So as far as the secrets being hidden, I wouldn't even worry too much about the actual, like, what secrets are you hiding. I will think about what is it that this person is showing me. Because the only thing you could deal with is what you actually see. If you're not dealing with what is shown to you, if you're not paying attention to the signs, then you're not dealing with reality. If you start making things up and you start feeling a certain way off just based on what you actually think, and you start snooping or whatever, then you're delusional. And a lot of times what ends up happening, you end up hurting yourself, because if you already think somebody is doing something, you're going to find what you're looking for. Even if it's not a thing, you'll make it out to be something. If somebody is jealous, they're dead set on you doing something that they think that you're doing. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing it or not, because jealousy is a sense of being delusional anyway. Because you've already factored all of this stuff up in your head on what it is. And so now you sat there on your own and you decided that you want to feel a certain type of way about it. But there are some toxic relationships where people are actually turned on about somebody being jealous behind them, or they'll get mad if you're not, and it's ridiculous to me. Can you leave your phone? The next part of the question was, can you leave your phone unlocked around your mate, and if he or she look into your phone, what will be the outcome? On that part of the question, I think it just depends on the two individuals that's in a relationship. What have you already discussed? Um, what is allowed in a relationship? And it depends on what it is that you find. I think that matters. What it is that you find, on how it's handled, and also the way the person responds. All of that have to be taken into consideration. So without knowing the two people in the relationship, it's kind of hard to say. But I will say this whole phone thing is very, very childish to me. We all have intuition. And I know people try to make it seem like a woman's intuition is so much more heightened than a man's intuition or whatever. And we always talk about the woman's intuition. But men have an intuition too. We all have our intuition. So we all have a feeling. We all have that gut feeling when we think something is not right. And I'm going to go a little deeper, because I honestly feel like when you have these gut feelings and you are a person that is in tune with yourself, and you are a person that is, you know that you have certain gifts and you know what you know, I feel like you don't even have to go as far as trying to figure out all the different blues clues and piece things together. A lot of people have a hard time with just going ahead and making a decision. Now, I'm not saying being silly about it. and if it's something crazy. But before you even get to that point where you start going through a phone, hopefully that person made you. I hope you ain't just doing it because you just love drama. 9 times out of 10, that person has shown you something. And if that person has shown you something to make you want to go through their phone, that means that you're not treated right. That means they're not upholding some part of the bargain. Whatever you guys discussed in a relationship and said, this is how it's going to be, and these are my terms, and these are my conditions. And if you still feel like you got to go through a phone or whatever the case may be, I really feel like people who do all of this and they want to go through phones and have arguments about what's in the telephone or whatever, I feel like they just feed off drama. They have no intentions on actually leaving the relationship, because before it even got that far, I feel like that person did something to make you feel the type of way. They have violated you, and they have violated your trust. And if that person has already violated your trust, that's grounds to go ahead and walk away anyway. Why would you want to hurt yourself even more by seeing that type of stuff? Something had to happen to get you to that point that made you feel like you want to go looking. So why hurt yourself more by looking for that and hurting yourself? I don't want to see it. If you already hurt me to a point to where I'm feeling away, I feel like you somebody that I can't trust, I feel like I'm laying in the bed every night sleeping with the enemy, that's enough for me. I ain't got to go through your phone, your pockets, or nothing. Some of y'all go as far as sniffing dicks. Man walk through the house, you want to smell his penis. Like, what? Come on now. We not going to do all of that. And like what Auntie Kitty said, man, cheat in peace. You know you're not gonna leave. You know you about to sit here and create a shitload of drama. You ain't going nowhere. Whether you a man in the situation and a woman is cheating on you, or a woman in the situation and a man is cheating on you. If you know you're not going nowhere, ain't no sense of creating a hostile environment. Let them people cheat in peace. And this is what I don't understand too. And maybe I might sound crazy when I say this. And this is for every individual to determine what their threshold for bullshit is. But people really act like cheating is the worst thing that can ever happen in a relationship. And that's the reason why I don't understand the whole concept of going through a phone, because cheating is not the worst thing that can happen in a relationship to me. So that's the reason why I said, before I even get to that point where I feel the urge to even go through a phone, that person has already had to do something to make me feel violated and has violated my trust. That's enough for me. The fact that you sat up here and you started handling me a certain type of way, you're treating me different. You're not doing the same things that you were doing at first. You put yourself under my radar, why I feel like I got to watch you because you moving a little different out here. That's enough for me. I ain't got to open up your phone and see somebody laid out with their whole wolf pussy hanging out. I ain't got to see all of that. That ain't going to do nothing but crush me more that you have this ongoing thing going on with a person. You already did enough when you start moving funny out here to make me feel a certain type of way. Bitch, you don't even know how to cheat successfully. You know what I'm saying? There are some people that's out here that are master cheaters. They have it down. They have it down pat. You ain't going to catch them. You know what I'm saying? If you going to be out here and you going to be cheating or whatever the case may be, you can't switch up how you moving. You can't change how you treat this person. Well, if y'all been on a routine, you got to stay on that routine. What ends up happening, this person either broke routine, they start doing something different, they maybe start talking to you crazy, coming in at a certain time of the night that they weren't coming in at first. That's enough. What else? What, like Tyrese said, what else do you want from me? What else do you want them to do? It seemed to me you want them to bend them over in front of you or something for you to go ahead and go on about your business. Because to me, going through something, I would feel like a damn fool, honestly, if I ever got to the point where I'm so insecure into a relationship where I'm finna start going through a phone and I'm waving a phone in their face like, who is this and this, that, and the third. And then some people go so far as to calling the other person. Let me tell you something. Nobody is obligated to maintain your relationship other than you two people who are in the relationship. It's nobody else's responsibility to keep your relationship together. And to be perfectly honest with you, sometimes the side person helps the relationship, to be perfectly honest with you. Because they have a place of refuge. See, they could sit in the house and they could be mad at you or whatever, and they got something on the side they could run to, and that could kind of help clear their head or whatever. So when they come back home, they'll be able to deal with you. Sometimes that side person keep the relationship afloat. Once that side person is removed from the situation, it's kind of like when quarantine had happened. When you couldn't run over to your side piece house or whatever, you had to deal with the person that you was with. You notice a lot of people started breaking up. So you just never know. Valerie say, baby, please don't call my phone on no BS. Let me tell you something. Don't call me at all on no talking about no man. Don't call me. Please don't call me because I ain't got nothing to tell you. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to start asking you for pictures too and trying to figure out I'm going to be trying to figure out what's the tea. What he running over there for? Send me the same pictures you've been sending him so I can assess the situation. And now you're gonna get the feeling some type of way. And if I was to run, and I'm gonna tell you something too. A lot of people create this drama knowing that they ain't gonna go nowhere. Let me tell you something. If you do get to this low point where you feel like you need to go through somebody's phone and you know you ain't gonna leave, don't you say shit. Don't you say a thing. Because I'm going to tell you something about a cheater. They're not going to stop cheating. Just because you jumped in their face and you were confrontational about it. And you tell them how you caught them. The only thing they going to do is clean up some things and find a different way to do it. And you're going to have to be out here trying to connect the dots again. You just helping them figure out how to clean up their act. And I'm going to tell you something that happened to me one time. I remember when I was little and I had snuck in my stepdad. I had snuck in his little stash. I called myself smoking weed or whatever the case may be. I snuck in his little stash, and when he came home and he saw that I had snuck in his stash, he explained to me. He was like, I know you went in here because I keep this like this, and I keep this like this, and I roll this out like this, and I do this like this. This is how I know that you went in there. So in his mind, he's telling me, I know you did it. Right? And he's explaining to me how he know I did it. But guess what? Only thing that did is taught me how to be smarter. I wasn't going to quit doing it. It just taught me how to be smarter. It's like, oh, okay, that's what this person is looking at. Oh, this is what this person is looking for. So boom. I need to make sure I'm paying attention to how I roll it out now, how I do it. You ain't doing nothing but telling the person the blueprint on how to do something when you start trying to blast them on it. So you got to be very careful with that. Very, 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 very careful with that. If you don't plan on leaving, just be quiet. Shut your ass up and go cry in the car. Don't even give this person the inkling that you even know anything. If you don't plan on leaving. Because then if you don't leave, that person is going to turn it up a notch anyway. Because now they know for sure you ain't going nowhere. Now they know their limits. Now they know your threshold for bullshit. Now they know what they can and cannot do and what they can get away with, and they gonna keep trying your ass. So nah, don't do all that. If you gonna go through the phone, you know you ain't gonna leave. Shut your ass up and let people cheat in peace. Don't create no hostile environment for yourself. Moving right along. The next part of the question is not the same question. It's a totally different question that somebody else had sent in, and I just knew this one gonna be long, so I tied it all together. Somebody wrote in to the Desk of Dasia and said, I have a question. Should men just come to dates and have the woman plan the dates every time? Disclaimer, when people send in questions to me, I don't talk to them about the question. I honestly was taken aback by the question. I wasn't really understanding what the depths of the question was. I didn't really get it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my perspective on it because I don't have conversations with the people. If you send me a question, I'm just gonna okay, I got your question and post it, whatever, anonymously, and then I'm gonna address it the way that I'm addressed it now. So I'm not having a full out conversation with anybody because that'll throw me off when I'm actually giving my commentary. But should men just come to dates and have the woman plan the dates every time? So when I heard that question, or when I read that question rather, I was thinking along the lines of, you know how like sometimes you'll meet a guy and he'll ask you all the things that you like to do. And then when it comes to actually planning a date, he can't figure out what he want to do with you on a date. He'll ask you all this stuff. What type of stuff you like to do for fun? What's your favorite color? You know, all the preliminary bullshit, right? So you give him all this detail, and when it comes to actually planning the date, he has absolutely no clue on what to do. And so when he wants to take you out, he's asking you where you want to go, where you want to go eat, what you want to do, that type of thing. So essentially, you are planning the date. So I guess this is, I guess this is where this is coming from. I'm not exactly sure. But if I'm thinking right about what this question entails, I would say hell no. No, you shouldn't be planning a date and for him to just come. Because the thing is, if you're dating, the man is supposed to be trying to woo you. He should be trying to pursue you. Let me get this white shit. I don't know. I need some more lip gloss because he be caking all up. He should be trying to pursue you. So with him actually trying to pursue you, if you have to put all the thought behind the date, then I don't really feel like he's thinking a lot about you and taking in consideration previous conversations that you've had about your likes and dislikes. I feel like a part of the process of wooing somebody comes from them actually listening to what it is you're saying and then taking it and being able to plan dates around it so you could be like, oh, he really listens to me. Oh, he know what I like type of thing. But if you sitting up there, you have to pick and choose where to go and all this old kinds of stuff, then he's not actually wooing you. Then you have to be careful with this too, because you have certain women that's at a certain level that if you allow her to pick and choose where we're going, then at that point she will have to be privy to, you know, how much money you make and all this old kinds of stuff. You got to be careful with that because you never want to try and count a man's pocket So that's the reason why I feel like the man should be the one. If he's in pursuit of you, then he should be the one actually planning the date, because I don't know how much how much you got to spend or how much you're willing to spend on this date. So no, you need to plan the date. And the only thing I need to worry about is making sure I'm looking good for you when I come on that date. And making sure, that I'm making sure that you're having just as good as time on the date as I am, and I'm being good company or whatever. But me kind of thinking about it and all this old kind of stuff, I'm not finna do all that, because I'm not about to think about what I'm gonna wear, how I'm gonna look, get myself together for the day. I don't do the whole you finna come pick me up thing. So making sure my car clean, doing all this or whatever the case may be. And I also got to figure out where you gonna take me and deal with the anxiety that comes with not wanting to feel like I'm doing too much. Because hell, you could go on a date with a guy to a place that he chose. A man to take you to a goddamn steakhouse and get mad at you because you done ordered you a ribeye, T-bone, or a porterhouse steak. And it's like, damn, you took me to the steakhouse and you wanted me to order a smothered chicken breast. They don't expect for you to order the best thing on the menu. And if you do, they sit up here look like, oh, you just doing that because you ain't the one paying for it, that type of thing. So coupled with the fact that people have that type of mentality going on a date anyway when they choose where they gonna take you to, hell no, I'm not even finna pick where we going. I'm not doing that. I tell you what I like and you pick where we going, and I see, what type of time you want. Another thing is you want to see how that man is going to treat you, what he feel like you're worth. How is this man going to handle you throughout the duration of the relationship, right? So with you picking, you never know. I'm gonna tell you a scenario that happened to me. I met this guy and he said that he wanted to take me out, and I like seafood. I love me a good steak and everything, and I like me some seafood. So if I'm going out, I'm finna go to me a steakhouse or I'm finna go get me some seafood. Both places can be pretty expensive, right? So I told this person where I wanted to go. This particular place that we went to, it wasn't it wasn't expensive to me because this is just how I eat. You know what I'm saying? So this particular place that we went to, I had like 2 drinks. He had 2 drinks and we had our food. I saw the check, of course. It had to be about 110 or something like that. Not too bad. For 2 people to have a nice meal, have 2 drinks a piece or whatever, that's not bad, right? So I chose that spot because he asked me to choose the spot. The next time when we went out, we was finna go out and he said where he wanted to go. He was like, well, he wanted to go to Olive Garden. And I was like, I don't like Olive Garden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't my type of get down. No offense. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I eat Olive Garden, but it's not one of those places that I feel like we're doing anything. Like, that's some shit that I just like throw on some a sundress that I've been cooking chicken in, flour everywhere, and some flip-flops and go eat at the damn Olive Garden. I don't even feel like I need to get dressed to get ready for a date to go there. That's just one of the places that you go if you've been riding around and y'all been doing other stuff all day. And you like, hey, let's go to the Olive Garden. Like, the shit is microwave. You know what I'm saying? So for him, his idea of a good date is the Olive Garden. That's not my ideal of a good date. And I had no issue when he said go to Olive Garden. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a place that I frequent or I would have ever thought about. And so he was like, yeah, because we went to that other place that was a little high. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, that was a good price. And it's not being funny acting or nothing like that, or trying to spend up a man money. I'm actually feeling like, okay, this is my type of get down. This is what I like. This is what I do. And I just take myself out. Right. So if he never would have asked me where I wanted to go that first time that we went out, and he would have picked the place, we would have went to Olive Garden. And at that point, I would have seen the level that he owned just from that. Like, oh, okay, this is what he doing. This the type of place that he feel like is, a wow factor or whatever. And that came from his background, where he come from and all of that. He an old country boy, I'm a country girl, but he haven't seen a whole lot. And so for him, a place like that is, up there. That is a good time for him. I ain't mad at him for it. But if I would have kept choosing, it would have continued to make him feel some type of way. Because maybe he would have felt like, oh, she just doing this because I'm spending the money for it, when all in actuality, that's my get down anyway. You know what I'm saying? I do that by myself. So I feel like it's not a good idea for the woman to be picking a place, because you really don't get a chance to see how this man is living out here for real. How, like, what he feel like you actually deserve. I think all of that has to be taken into consideration. I really do. Got to be careful out here. I'm not trying to plan anything based on somebody else's wallet. I'm just not trying to do. You tell me where you're comfortable with taking me. And even stuff like that, people can say what they want to, but when it comes to dating, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money, because there's a lot of things that I enjoy doing. It doesn't mean that you have to spend a whole lot of money, and it's a lot of thought that come into planning the date. It should be conversations that's had before you even decide to go out with somebody. And I feel like that whole process is a vetting process, where you're able to see how this person is actually going to carry you if you decided to be in a relationship with them. I've actually had a date with a guy. In our first date, we went to Brahms and got ice cream. I was cool with that. We spent every bit of $10. We ain't get nothing but some ice cream and some water. And we sat out there and we talked, or whatever the case may be. And I had a lovely time. And I went on plenty more dates when we wound up in a whole relationship and everything. Our first date was to go get some ice cream. And you know what was so special about it is because I was talking to him, and we had been talking for a couple of weeks, and I'm always eating ice cream. I love ice cream. So he on some, I'm going to take her out, and I've been listening to her too. I'm gonna take her to a place that I know she's gonna like, she's gonna enjoy. So he ain't spent no $100 and some dollars or whatever on the first day. That man spent every bit of $10, and we was at Bronx having us a good old time, talking or whatever the case may be, eating our ice cream. I felt like that was one of my best dates ever, because this man actually listened to me. So it ain't about the money that you're spending. It's about, are you actually listening to that person? And just the simple fact that this man had been having conversations with me, he listened to me and he planned the date based on the things that he that I said. I was more appreciative of that date than the man that made me choose where we gonna go. Cause I'm gonna feel in my mind like, if you was listening to me, you should know where we gonna go. I done told you what I like. We done sit up here and had 2 and 3 hour long conversations with us talking about our likes and dislikes. So why you got me planning a date too? I'ma just feel like you're not that into me. And I know sometimes people be like, well, I want you to enjoy. I want to do something that I know that you would like. If you was listening to that person in the beginning, you will already know. Valerie says, I definitely agree, especially when you first start dating. Now, months down the line, once we know a little more about each other and I like him, I might decide to plan something he might like, but I'm not going to be the only one planning all of our dates. Exactly. in the beginning, he need to be the one planning these dates. Down the line, you could just, babe, I want to go here or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The dates are not as formal. It's, down the line. And then it could be times where it's just y'all just kind of put y'all heads together, but like, hey, let's go do this or do that or whatever. Or it could be something. I feel like women plan the best dates for men because we actually be listening to men. And so we are playing like some of the. I love planning dates for men. Like if it's somebody that I'm dealing with or whatever, I really feel like when it comes to like surprises, dates, and things like that, men be so appreciative of like the smallest little thing, the smallest little gesture. So it'd be cool like planning something for a man or whatever the case may be. But we're able to do that, and we're able to bring that sentimental value into it because we actually listen. I'm not talking for nothing. I'm not sitting up here telling you my favorite color, what I like to eat, what I like to do, all this stuff for nothing. What is you asking me for is when we get done with the whole questionnaire, you can't even plan a date. So I feel like you done wasted my time, and I'm not into wasting my time. I'm not into time wasting. You should be at least able to plan a date. And it ain't got to be all about me. And within that conversation of us talking about our likes and dislikes, I'm sure the fact that we even get to that point where we're going on a date, we have some similarities. We have to have some similarities, I would think, for you to even want to pursue me in that way. So just because he's planning a date, it doesn't mean that it's something that he's not going to enjoy also, or it's just all centered around me. So there's enough information out there for him to properly plan something. And I feel like when he throw it on me, he's just not listening. That's just my take on it. But yeah, hopefully the person who sent that question in to me, they got what they came for. Like I said, I didn't really understand, where we were going with the question, but that's the only thing that I could get from it. But no, I'm not in the beginning, no sir, no ma'am, I am not planning no dates. Mm-mm. But that's it. I said I ain't gonna keep y'all long, and I ain't gonna keep y'all long. Like I said, if you have any questions that you would like to get my perspective on, you want to ask for yourself, you want to ask for a friend, message me on Death of the Asia on Facebook, or send me an email at deathoftheasia@gmail.com. If it's something that I can go over briefly, I probably combine the questions like I did tonight. If it's one of those things that is going to take up a whole lot of time, I might address it individually. If you haven't already watched the video that we did tonight on Locked and Loaded, make sure that you go over to that page and watch that video that we did tonight on Locked and Loaded. The title of that is Fake Love, Real Hate. Make sure that you're catching Locked and Loaded every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that's with me and your girl, Auntie Kitty. And make sure that you are watching Coffee with Kitty every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we're talking about the trending topics that are going on in the media. And make sure that you have liked Death of the Asia and you're following Death of the Asia, because as you can see, it's impromptu. I'm just popping up on you when I feel like I want to go ahead and address some of these questions. I haven't decided a set time. I eventually decide a set time, but I really don't want to kind of like commit and obligate myself to it. I'm committed to doing it, but just like that time, I want to kind of do it when I feel it. So I don't want you guys to miss anything. So make sure that you have liked the page and you are following it. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you have subscribed and you have turned on the notification bell That way you won't miss any of the live shows. That's on YouTube. You got to hit subscribe and you got to hit that little bell so you won't miss any of the shows. But I thank y'all so much for tuning in with me tonight. I am about to tune out. And y'all have a good evening. And it was something else that I wanted to say. Oh, it was something else I wanted to say. I hate when I do that. It was something else. I ain't missed nothing. I got the coffee with Kitty, the locked and loaded. That's it. Oh, that's it. So y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in with me. I'm finna tune out. Peace. Y'all have a good night.